Guess to start, I mean, it's two great artists, two really good artists, in my estimation, Victoria Wanacott and Anthony Romanescu. They don't know each other. Victoria lives in Montreal. Anthony lives in the Gatineaus, but really sees himself as a European, a Polish man. And I think their work really complement each other. And it's the first time in the gallery I've had just two artists. So it's essentially a solo show for each one of these artists. There's quite a bit of room here. And so there's lots of room for them to show their oeuvre and to stretch their legs a little bit. Now, I'd like to start, I guess I'll start with Victoria. And she has entitled her grouping and her show Coming to the Surface, which really has, I really think it speaks to what she's done here and the kind of work that's in the gallery. It's a group of bathers walking out of the water, and it's an abstract sort of close-up of water scenes and some children swimming under the water, done in her extremely accomplished style, and it's figurative work, and it's very luscious, I think, and the framing is gorgeous too. These wonderful frames she's picked up. About half the work are images of a man, and he's coming to the surface in that they're very, very faint, and he's in the background, almost dreamlike quality to these figures. And what's in front of this man, obscuring your view, are all these different techniques that she's using to depict water that's dripping on say a shower curtain. I think that's in general what she's depicting. And sometimes she's using varnish itself and dripping varnish right on. Sometimes she's literally painting what a varnish would look like if it was dripped on, but it's just paint. And she's tried all these different techniques with this group. Very interesting. Love her work. Anthony Romanescu. He is a really interesting man. He does these mixed media works. They're collage, but he really has a painter's mind, and I think you really see they do come across as more painting or more painterly perhaps than just the usual sort of mixed media. The other thing he does with his mixed media, which I absolutely adore, is it's a lot of mixed media artists, they'll take a fork, they'll stick a fork on the canvas or on the piece of board, and there you have it. And once it's stuck on, that's it. And it says fork, and it's just about, that's all you get. But Anthony will take the fork, he'll stick it on, and he'll mash it with a rock, and then he'll take a grinder and he'll grind the fork down until it becomes something else. It's no longer fork, it's this bit of thing on the canvas that works beautifully with what he's doing. And that goes to what he's trying to accomplish with his work. And one of the things he's told me is that he's really trying to, he works at a piece until it essentially becomes very strange to him, and he no longer feels it's part of him. So he tries to work a piece away from himself, whereas a lot of artists, I think, work towards themselves. He tries to push it away. He tries to turn it into something that he no longer feels he has much of a connection to. And I think that's quite an interesting technique. And what he also does is he works outside. He spends about 2 months out of the year in the summertime, goes off into the bush and brings all his supplies along with him. And then he works in a solitary way, living the life out in the bush, making these strangers for himself. The Cube Gallery is located at 7 Hamilton Avenue North, which is just northwest of the Parkdale Market. And this show, the show of Victoria Wanacott's Coming to the Surface and Anthony Romanescu's Mixed Media, this show is on from August 1st till August 19th. And it ought to be a real humdinger.